we're at TutorPeer. It just so happens that a good portion of my teachers this year don't teach or do so very, very badly. It's not fair that one teacher can have a way better pass rate than another teacher teaching the exact same thing. Why should students stay after school to get tutoring? Why should we suffer because of our teachers' incompetence? Well, have no fear, TutorPeer is here. Before I go any further, let me introduce my team. I'm Yaroslav Pushnikov, the project manager. That is Arthur Grick, the web developer, and that is Amir Maned, the software developer. TutorPeer will be a free school county linked, funded, and advertised online peer-to-peer tutoring platform. Students seeking tutoring will be randomly connected to their respective tutors via a live queue algorithm. Students who are qualified tutors will gain scholarship volunteer hours for tutoring their peers. One-on-one tutoring will be performed through a multitude of interactive mediums such as text chat, voice chat, file sharing, virtual whiteboard, online textbook, etc. Our TutorPeer will also be linked to the school county's student database for student authentication and easy data analysis. Our linkage will be set up in such a way that to minimize our liability, we will only be receiving login confirmations, nothing else. We'll also incorporate TLS encryption as a security measure. School counties will be charged with a monthly fee for a service anywhere from $300 to $20,000 depending on their size and budget. This is the market growth graph. Our goal is something to strive for. There are roughly 10,000 school districts in the United States that we can sell to. By the time I'm 26, we want to be as close to 100% of them as possible, collecting monthly royalties from every single one. Now, I'm going to admit, at the beginning of this competition, we really had no intention in continuing the development of this TutorPeer. We're just here for the money, like everyone else, I suppose. But as the year progressed, we've started to realize the true potential of TutorPeer, how much money it can really generate and how impactful it can be on our age group, if advertised properly. Speaking of advertising, some of it will be done by the county, by the teachers. Teachers will inform their students of our service and encourage them to use it. I want to make an important distinction though. TutorPeer will not be forced onto students like ELP and other similar programs. It will be a completely optional service that students will use voluntarily and quite enjoy doing so. Back to advertising. We will also run campaigns on websites like YouTube, Instagram, Snapchats, and other social medias that spring up. Buzz marketing will also be quite beneficial for us, especially in the early stages. We'll tape posters on school walls, maybe speak on Eagle Eye, our school's morning announcements, and hopefully do that in many schools, not just ours. We even founded a programming club in our school to teach students the marvels of coding. It attracted a lot of very smart, talented young individuals willing to work if given the right monetary compensation. We all have a lot of faith in TutorPeer, and I'm absolutely planning to push out a fully functional version within the next half year and sell it to PCSB by this fall. This is our development timeline. You can take a look at it. We plan to sell sometime in late September, maybe October, if everything goes to plan. Now Arthur will demonstrate TutorPeer to you.
That's just a prototype that we have here. So if we go to www.tutorpeer.com or .com, it will take you to, actually the resolution is not scaled correctly with this display because it's really square, but okay. It would look, the spacing would be correct if it was a normal resolution. It's
Just take it.
It's incorrectly
You
You
can
can
take a
scroll
look
out.
at the laptop.
sized.
You can scroll out.
Or maybe I can actually do this. No, that's too small. That's okay. I can still show you. So at the top here, we will have our contact information, and as well option to sign in or register as a tutor if you're not already registered. So if you click the Register as a Tutor tab, you will be asked to put in your school county issued username, your password, the subject you would like to tutor in, and your specific GPA in that subject. Now, if you do not have a school issued username or your R2D2, you will be able to type in your school email, and this way it will send you a confirmation link to the email in order to register. So this way, not only the students in the county or in the school system can do it, but also like virtual students as well. Now, our first section here will be the About section, which will tell you about TutorPeer and what it's used for, followed by Features and our team, and finally a Contact section with our contact info, or you could also leave us a message here. Now, we also have a tutors page, which will go more in depth about how to become a tutor and the various requirements. Also, we'll have a developers page, which will include APIs that we've released, and finally a help page with frequently asked questions.
Okay, go back.
Yeah. So let's sign in. So if we use our school issued username and our password, we can sign in. Now for this account, it's registered as a tutor and a tutee. Now let's suppose we want to be tutored on this specific time. Let's sign in as a 2D. On your home page, you will see your tutoring history, and these are just sample names. You'll see your tutoring history and the amount of hours you have done in that specific, with that specific person, and the date. We also have this feature for the tutor section. If we have time, I can show you that, which this is what it would really be useful for the scholarship hours. This way you can log in. On the left, you will have your course selection section with the various courses TutorPeer offers. And on the right, throughout your tutoring, tutors may share files with you. That's a feature we have. So all these files will go here in the section. You'll be able to open them. And finally, TutorPeer has a logging system for the chat. So if you had a really good tutoring session, there's some useful information, you can go back and retrieve that chat history. So let's click on one of the subjects. Again, the sizing would be correct, but resolutions. So we have various videos for the key concepts in that specific subject. So biology, English. So let's say we want to find a tutor. Well, once we click it, we will be able to cancel queue, and we have a tutors online feature, which shows you the amount of tutors. That section. Hold on. Looks like there's an issue. One second. One moment. The chat seems to be down. Okay, so here's the, now we are connected to our tutor. Amir here signed in as a tutor. So to the right here, we will have a timer, and it will record your session. So that's how we transfer the amount of hours you have with the database. So you can see how long you've done and how long you have left. So that's convenient. And again, your files here, so you can quickly access them. There will also be obviously the text chat and a voice chat, so you can click that to speak. We also have a whiteboard, virtual whiteboard So let's send a message to the tutor. Just, loading slowly. We would not have this issue in the final product, of course, but, well, let's just let that load.
That's okay.
Uh,
You're good.
But yeah, the concept is,
Yeah.
and you would see that he would respond to my message. And finally, when we're, and that's what what the actual spacing would look like and the scaling. So say we're done with the session, after an hour, well, actually, yeah, let's say we're done with the session, we'll be able to log out and it will take you back to the homepage. And I can show you, I can show you the normal side scaling if you guys want to see. Because, I mean, it looks a lot better than this, but, so that's TutorPeer.
Thank you.
Thanks, yes.
Questions? Yes.
Oh, okay. So you said that you're able to load documents and that sort of thing. So what kind of storage challenges or like limitations do you have, or did you show us an architectural page, or is that in?
That's in documents.
Okay.
Basically, each user will have about a gigabyte of storage, and if they go past that limit, then it'll start deleting old documents they haven't touched in for a while, automatically.
Is that set up and working today?
No.
Okay.
How are you, is it the identity system that's verifying who the user, who the tutor is and that they're actually
It's the
Yeah.
the
capable
count.
of tutoring?
It's the count. It's going to be back and forth communication through the database.
Yeah, the specific account will be linked to the school database. So this also goes in hand with the registering. Once you register, it will, all the information, like the GPA, it will be on the database.
How's that used, the GPA?
Oh, you have to have at least a 3.0 GPA and it's subject to tutor.
But is there any way of is it verifying it through the school's database? or
Yes,
is
it
not?
will verify. And it will connect that specific account to this one. And we will have an encryption algorithm, so we won't be able to get any like passwords or anything like that from the database because it's on their side.
Does R2D2 have the capability to do that?
It's not like we're storing their data on our server. It's just gonna basically be a request.
Right, so you're having to do an SSO. So does R2D2 offer that feature to external?
Yes, they do. Which you can see where if you go on websites such as clever.com and you log into their website, it'll redirect you to the county's login page that's already set up, and it'll basically send like a hash key or something back to Clever to verify that you've logged in as you.
Awesome. And so did you guys figure out a way then that you'll be able to associate the GPA to the tutor so that if they drop below, it automatically drops them out of the tutor?
We were thinking that we would send a request to either like their principal or their teacher, and they'll send us like a copy of their grades to verify.
And how did the teachers feel about that?
Very much agreed.
Yeah.
They thought it was a great idea.
That sounded good to them, that
Yes.
that automatic enrollment would email them and say validate GPA for John Smith, and they would say, yep, he's 3.0.
Yeah.
But then what if he drops to a 2.5 later in the semester?
Then he would likely lose tutoring privileges.
But how would you manage that workflow? Would the teacher have to email you guys and say, hey, take him out?
It would check. It would check the county's database. Students' GPA, let's say daily.
Feed, or?
Yeah.
Or there would be a request.
Every time
like,
they log in.
for a
Every
time
time
interval.
Oh, every time that they log in, you're going to go out and do that
you check.
authentication.
Yes.
And how do you handle the ones the virtual students, so the students that are homeschooled or whatever that can sign up to be tutors? Is that also managed through the PCSB?
It's like a separate thing, but they still have grades and things like that, and they still have teachers that you can email to get a copy of their grades, GPA, things like that.
So scalability, as you expand into other counties, you're gonna have to integrate with every single county system.
Yes.
Any obstacles you see there?
Compatibility issues, as like different counties will have different login systems based on how they feel on security.
So as far as just like APIs offered, have you guys researched that at all?
Yes. They're like, basically, a lot of services, what they do is they would release like a library that allows them to use our services and integrate it with their website. For example, if they want to use like a whiteboard, then they could download the library, and then it would basically like every time you log into their website, it would send a request to our website for the program, the whiteboard program, and it would, along with it, the JavaScript will have settings based on how they want it on their website. For example, it'll have like different colors or a different size, things like that.
So all of the tutoring is via the actual app itself or the website,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So there's no like phone communication or anything?
That's one of our goals, to have everything built in.
Okay. Oh, to built in?
There'd be
okay.
no way to log the hours if they were talking on the phone.
Right,
So
right.
you have to go through here, because I'm automatically logged.
I like your logo, the look and feel of the webpage. It looks clean and easy to use. One question is around, since it's peer-to-peer and teachers are involved with the interaction, is there going to be any type of monitoring with
Yeah.
the
Yes.
peer-to-peer? Just
It will
Let's say-
save the chat,
okay.
lock the chat.
Come here. Well,
just
Basically, every time you like send a message, like I just sent a message here, it basically logs it to a file called chat.txt, and basically we're going to have it set up so then every time there's a new session for the chat, then it'll create a new file and it'll have a portion of their username, and it'll have like a randomly generated key.
So what do you,
Timestamp.
so what do you do
Like
with that
timestamp.
text file, right? So are you gonna analyze it later for inappropriate
yeah, we'll have a
words?
program that searches through and, yeah, inappropriate words, inappropriate, you know, just any content really.
Files.
cheating of some sort or.
Yeah, and we'll have moderators also to run the website, obviously, and they can check that way too. So,
What about, so you guys said that money-wise, you're going after targeting the county.
yeah.
What's gonna incite the so if it's teachers off, why is the county gonna wanna?
Because because it increases the student's success. Like if the teacher sucks, then the student has something, some other way of learning the material. For example, if they can't go to after school tutoring, they can just do this.
So it's much more convenient to do it after school, at home, anywhere from your house. And as well, also, like, for example, there's this service called. Okay, well, they'd be much more inclined to use it because it's voluntary and not mandatory on them, and it's peer-to-peer.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Also, they get to
Thank you.
meet